jump for this shit. All top when I speak, all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rap shit. I'm so out of line with the phrase game. Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line, what you fall through with the light sticks. Maybe help me.
Video number 2, and I'm home from working out. Just thought I'd make it quick number 2 to keep it rolling. I got my I Believe Ted Lasso shirt on. Awesome show, super fun. I'm on season 3. Zava is making it happen. And all right, first question, James from Wisconsin. I think I'm drinking too much. I've tried different things like counting my drinks and sober October, but I keep drinking more. I'm not as bad as some of my friends who are for sure alcoholics, but how do I control myself more with my drinking? All right, so yeah, first of all, Wisconsin, I just went to the Green Bay Packer game, my first one, Lambeau Field. Monday night football, it was like -3 degrees, and when the Chargers, I'm in San Diego, when the Chargers left, I did not go with the billionaire owner who left us. I felt like he broke up with us, so I let him go. And I chose the team. I was like, okay, what team is not owned by a billionaire? And the only one is the Green Bay Packers, owned by the city and people. So yeah, so I went there, and oh man, I'm assuming you are a Packer fan if you are from Wisconsin. Everybody I met there it was like a big religion. It was like, so awesome time, awesome people. So drinking too much. First of all, with the word alcoholic with your friends, that word implies to me that you're always going to be that. They're always going to be that. And it has a lot of meaning behind it that I do not subscribe to. It has what I feel like is really saying that there's no cure for alcohol addiction, and there is a cure. You are so much more than any addiction and any drink, and for me, there's never actually been an alcoholic. What that means is there's been tons of people who have been addicted to alcohol, but there's never been what I consider an alcoholic in the terms of the old, 12-step programs, where it's an incurable disease. Even in all the medical journals and DSM, when I was back, studying all my psychology, they all say it's an incurable disease, and that is not true. That is absolutely 100% not true. As the Buddha says, there are 3 things that can't hide for long. It's the moon, the sun, and the truth. The truth is that alcohol is an addictive substance, and anybody can get addicted to it once enough of it is consumed. So we have to understand that we, as a biological bodies, once enough of this is consumed, this substance, just like anything, if we smoked enough cigarettes, we would get a nicotine addiction. If we did anything that's addictive, with an addictive substance like that, like meth, heroin, cocaine, all these substances, they are opioids, they're addictive. And that is the same thing as alcohol. Alcohol has gotten a free pass at this because it has been the only painkiller in human history for so long. For tens of thousands of years, this liquid substance has been, on battlefields, everything from if you get shot in the leg, your only thing back then, there was nothing else except here's a shot of whiskey, here's a bottle of, whiskey, and let's get it down. And we're going to amputate your leg. So at that time, you were extremely happy to have had it. And And believe me, I would have been down in that stuff like crazy too, in that time. But we are now in modern times where we don't need to consume an addictive carcinogen known as ethanol. Ethanol is the same substance as alcohol. It's just two different names. So when we say that, I just wanted to hit on that first, is that your friends, by calling them alcoholics, we assume that they are no longer, they're either going to have to go, and completely be absolutely stop forever, and like they're white knuckling it. They're have to use tons of willpower. They're going to always crave it. It's going to be this beautiful elixir on the shelf that they can't touch. So I want to reframe that idea, because alcohol is a nasty, nasty substance, a nasty drug. It kills and deadens everything it touches. That's why they still use it as the number one thing in hospitals, is alcohol, to kill germs. So when we're consuming it, this substance, not only is it addictive, but it also deadens and numbs everything it touches. So there's all kinds of stuff going on in our body whenever that's happening. Whenever we first started doing it, we were doing it for fun. Everybody's doing it, be cool, be sexy, all the ads, all this stuff on TV, on all the radio and television, and what else we got? Banners flying by on the beach. When my kids are, at the building sand castles, I look up and it's bikini girls and flying by with a huge banner in the sky. Coors Light, crisp, refreshing, it's just nonstop. Everywhere we go, how alcohol is this major, beautiful life elixir that is going to save the world, save you. You're going to be sexier, funnier, happier. You're going to have, cars and women, and everybody's going to love you. You're the life of the party because you have been drinking Crown Royal Peach or whatever it is that they're selling. And it's just become, we're now, having not drank in 3.5 years, it's become comical to me whenever I see all these ads. So it's really controlling. We're starting off, so I'm rereading this, like you're counting your drinks in Sober October, but you keep drinking more. So what that is getting into is, first of all, people who don't have any kind of alcohol problem, addiction, anything like that, they don't count drinks. They've never, it's not an issue for them counting drinks, and they never had to do Sober October. So just know that if you're starting to do those kind of things, there's mild, medium, and heavy alcohol levels of addiction. 90% of people who are in alcohol addiction are in the mild to medium level of addiction. There's only the 10% that we think of, the heavy drinkers, what most, we were talking about earlier, alcoholics. That's the people that, wake up, grabbing the bottle underneath the kitchen sink and turning it up, in the morning. That's that 10%. But like me, I was in the mild to medium levels of addiction. And luckily, very luckily, I was able to wake up out of the alcohol matrix consciousness, the slumber of, brainwashing that alcohol is this beautiful elixir of humans, and it makes life so much better, and all this complete and total lies and brainwashing that not only advertisements and big alcohol, pushes like crazy, but our own consciousness from tens of thousands of years of it being the only painkiller on the planet. We have that in our collective consciousness. And so we have to really start getting into inside of ourselves and saying, what are my beliefs around alcohol? And that is where the control is going to begin to happen. You're going to begin, once you go down this road, you're going to see and awaken to the fact that alcohol does not benefit you in any way. And that means it doesn't make you funnier. It doesn't make you sexier. It doesn't make you happier. It doesn't make you dance better. I've seen the videos of myself. That didn't happen. It is not your friend, and it has been portrayed as this friend, and we even make jokes about it being our savior, whenever times are tough. There's memes all about it, and it's just, you see all this stuff, and it's just with this collective consciousness, when 86% of adults are drinking it, we think that means it's normal. Well, I can assure you that it is not normal. It is an addictive drug that, once again, anyone, and I mean anyone, who consumes enough of it will get addicted. You will continue. Addiction is you're either getting better and out of it, or you're getting worse. So when we talk about we're not as bad as our friends, and yeah, there's always going to be people who drink more, who are at the bar, ordering 2 shots just to get going, and a beer chaser just for themselves, So there's always going to be those people, but the key is where are you going to say, okay, I got to turn this around for real before I keep sliding into the pit of addiction. And when you're mild, it's much easier to do than whenever you're in the medium level of addiction than whenever you're in the severe level. So, it's just one of those choices when you've had enough pain from the alcohol. And if you're watching this video, I'm sure that you're starting to wake up because of the pain that it's causing in your life. And that is exactly what happened to me. I was always thinking I was smarter than everybody else. I can handle my alcohol. I'm not like my dad. I'm not like my grandfather. They were from different eras. This is a whole different modern world. There's different drinks, and everybody's drinking this nice wine now. It's not moonshine. It's not Milwaukee's Best, although that's what I got started on in high school in the Midwest, the Beast, as we called it. With drinking more, if you're already realizing that you're not controlling your drinking, we need to get you out of the Nile, the big river in Egypt, denial. So it is one of the biggest steps in really learning how to control your drinking is understanding that you are addicted to an addictive substance. That is a very big realization. It's like, wow, I thought that only certain people could get addicted to alcohol. Defective, like they had allergies to it. Only, certain families, personality types, genetics, like Irish people, they drink, that's just part of their culture. But if you look around the world, it's every culture everywhere. I don't care who you are. Mexicans will tell you the same thing. Indians, Native Americans, Japanese, I've been over there. The kumpies that you hear when you're in Japan. I mean, it's worldwide. Alcohol addiction is is huge, and I relate that a lot to alcohol becoming so, well, advertising, number one, but it's so much better tasting now than it ever has. We, as humans, we have made it where it used to be a slop, like a sludge whenever it first started out. It's originally from rotten fruits and vegetables. That's what it always has been, and that's how alcohol is created. And ethanol, the same thing that we put in gasoline now, that we say, oh, whenever we go to the car, pull into the gas station, we're like, oh my gosh, I'm not putting any ethanol in my motor, my nice truck or whatever it is, that dries it up, ruins it, da 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 da. That same exact substance that you're not putting into a metal moving engine is the same substance that later that night you go and you are like, thank God, I made it. I got my 5% ethanol in my crisp, refreshing beer, and it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. You are putting ethanol alcohol into your biological, this is tissue, bones, that you're saying you can't put it in a metal engine because it doesn't handle it well. So what now at night, because of all this advertising, all this brainwashing, all this painkiller stuff, you're jonesing literally, and because of its highly addictive nature, to go and do that. And we have to turn this around and unbrainwash ourselves. And the way to do that is by listening to this kind of program, this me talking to you, which, by the way, I don't need any money on this at all. This is me just turning a service back to humanity. The universe has said, you will now be a teacher of basically presence, and part of that, a big, huge part of that, is going to be teaching people how to overcome alcohol addiction. And so this is the start. This is my second video, and I'm going at it. I believe and believe. Let's go, Ted Lasso. So that's really where I'm at with this. I'm gonna try to keep these videos, around 15-20 minutes each time. But I think where I want you to really look at is, are you mild, medium, or heavy? There's all kinds of things online to figure out what level of alcohol addiction you are in. And if somebody had told me that up front, I didn't know this stuff. And so that's another reason why I'm trying to get on here and help people, is because there's a Chinese saying, proverb, I believe, whatever you want to call that, is if you want to know how to not make these mistakes when you're going down a path, ask someone who's coming back from where you're headed. And that's what I wish I had done. But in a way, like Annie Grace is the person that I found to be able to ask those questions. She's the author of This Naked Mind. And that is who was my person that helped me wake up out of the alcohol matrix. And so when I say the alcohol matrix, it is a collective consciousness that we're programmed into, that basically says alcohol is this beautiful thing, and we're laying down in these gurneys and we're all, tapped into this system of alcohol, and literally it's flowing through our veins and our brains and our bodies, and we are controlled like by this substance, by alcohol, big alcohol advertising, by our unconscious collective belief that alcohol benefits us and makes our lives better. And so what the whole thing about this is, the alcohol matrix is to unplug from that, to rip off all of the cords and get the Budweiser frogs away from you that are riveting, and funny, whatever, and Coors Light girls, bikini girls, the Modelo, most interesting man in the world, George Clooney and his tuxedo suit and tequila, saying how cool it is riding on his motorcycle to be drinking, 40% ethanol. He didn't even have a helmet on drinking that stuff in those ads. The dad in me. I'm a dad of 2 girls, man. I never thought I'd be saying, stuff like that, but here I am. You got school night, girls, school nights. It's school night. I've always wanted to say that, and I say that so much now. And what else? So the main thing is just, if you're comparing yourself to your friends who are you're saying that they are worse than you in levels, it's a level thing that you're kind of questioning now. So being from Wisconsin, you guys, man, that the drinking that goes on there, every conversation I had in that whole area, Green Bay, was football, alcohol, and what else was it? There was something about food. Yeah, cheese and food and so I was just cracking up. I'm like, man, everybody, and then I think you guys can take like kids there and saddle up at the bars. It's legal to have a drink if your family member is there. I don't even think there's an age for that. As long as you are the adult with the kid and you're the parent, then the kid can drink with you. And so know that alcohol addiction, when you start at a younger age, it's just like anything. Like you become addicted at an earlier age and more severely. So we gotta really, I'm sure there's tons of people in your families and friends who you've seen, like you're saying here, who have gone through severe alcohol addiction. Let's get you stopped before it continues on and before you go down that same path. You do not have to hit these horrible, horrible rock bottoms. You do not have to lose everything. You do not have to go through divorce, losing all your money, all your house, rehab, standing up in front of everybody saying, hi, I'm James, I'm an alcoholic. We don't have to do any of that. We can do this with ourselves on our own with these programs. And if you are a severe alcoholic already, severe addict, remember, I'm not using the alcoholic word unless I'm talking about old programs. If you are a severe addict, then you need to get really major help with hospitalization, and they have really good, even prescription drugs out there that can help you get through that. And then you can come to this as well and do this too. But just up front, I just want you to know, to get the really severe help that you need. What I'm really speaking to is the 90% of people who are in the mild to medium level, and we're gonna shut this thing down and cut it off, and before the addiction continues on and your friends hate you, your wife, your spouse, your husband, everybody, doesn't like you, and you look around and you go, I could have done this. Dustin was telling me up front, we can stop this now. Yeah, you got to make changes in your life, but looking back at my life, and had somebody done this for me long ago, and I would have listened to them. That's the other thing, is you got to be in a space to do this. And if you're listening, if you're here and you've gone through I've got 24 minutes, wow, in this, then, and I still got you, then yeah, you're where you need to be, and we'll keep going. We'll make this happen. It's a beautiful life. after being alcohol free. I don't say sober, I say alcohol free. And the reason I do that is because sober, if you look up sober, the word in the dictionary, it says somber, I think depressed, like lower, all these like what I consider very low vibe stuff. I am not a low vibe dude. I am happy. I am joyous. I am light. I am easy. When I'm in the present moment, when I'm conscious and focused on, what is true in life. And so to sit there and say that I'm sober, no, that does not work for me one bit. So I'm not a sober, somber, any kind of low energy kind of whatever, everything. If you look it up in the dictionary stuff, look up the word sober, and it's like, man, that's like, why would anybody ever say that they're sober? And I get it for addiction purposes and things, but you can also, the word instead now is alcohol free, and there's a dash in there. So is that 2 words or 1 word? I don't know if it's a dash, whatever. All right, peace, love, happiness. I believe, and I believe in you, James, and everybody else out there that sees this. We can make this happen and get through it. And all love and joy to you. I do yoga, and in the end, they say namaste. Namaste originally says, the God in me honors, recognizes, and loves the God in you. So I like to do that. I like to do it at the beginning too, to just say that we are equal as one. And I try to keep my ego completely out of this and know that I'm speaking to you at a equal level. And you and I are one at our most true essence. So the God in me honors, loves, and recognizes the God in you. Namaste. See you next time.